Alright, so making a little documentary video for myself so that when we start building this thing, I'll have some kind of a understanding of where everything is and how everything works. So this is our Earthship that we're staying with. It's a pretty small one, but it's actually pretty cool. I'll show you what this thing looks like on the inside. Alright, you get on the inside of the Earthship, there is this area that is actually an indoor garden that is a basically airspace in between the outside world and the inside of the living spaces. So this space here is where actually the hot air accumulates, and you get to use it judiciously as you want to warm up the inside of the house. These windows are tilted at this latitude and longitude at around 30 degrees because they are supposed to be basically perpendicular to the rays of the winter sun, to allow most of the winter sun to actually enter through here and heat up this space so that that heat can be used throughout the day. There are these vents that allow you to regulate how much heat is retained here, and there are also windows that open up to also allow you to regulate how much heat is retained. Most of these actually have shades as well to let you, in the summertime, shade as much of this as possible if you don't like it to be to retain a lot of heat. In the summer, the sun is much higher in the sky, and a lot of the sun's rays are not entering these glass panes at a right angle, and a lot of them actually reflect off of them rather than bouncing in here. So in the winter sun actually comes through here, comes through these windows, comes into the dwelling, and goes pretty much all the way through to the back of the dwelling. In the summer, because the sun is so high, the sun kind of ends here and doesn't even enter into the dwelling like the direct sunlight, even though everything inside is lit very nicely. So this is kind of a isolation buffer zone from the elements that allows you to control the temperature. All right, so now I'm inside in the dwelling. As you can tell, everything is kind of made into some kind of an adobe style. The roof of this thing is made from giant, about 12-inch timbers, pretty sturdy. Even though there's no second floor, it's actually pretty sturdy. There's another set of planters that are inside of the dwelling itself, and some people use them for vegetables, some people use them for just flowers. This particular one is used just for flowers. These planters have another function. These ones and the ones that are actually in the outside garden have another purpose, that the water from the sink and from the shower actually goes through a grease filter and through another chemical filter, and then gets dumped into these and the planters that we saw earlier. And then so these guys are getting watered all the time just by virtue of you using water, and the excess water actually drains down into another tank that is later on used to flush the toilet, which is kind of cool. Okay, so here's the bathroom. The bathroom in this one is built all crazy, like instead of using a normal tub, they did something weird. Hey. So this water actually comes from cisterns. The house itself collects this water from the roof into the cisterns, and then it's used, it's filtered 4 times and then used to shower and to for potable water. And then it goes into the planters, And then the excess of the water that goes from the planterns is actually used to fill the toilet for flushing. Kind of crazy. So this here is the filtration system for the water. There's 3 particulate filters that filter most of the water, and then a 4th one, this big one at the right, filters the water for drinking. It doesn't look like it has any kind of microbial kind of treatment, such as chlorine or fluoride or anything like that, but I guess depending on what climate you're in, that might be necessary or not. In this case, in New Mexico, I don't think there's anything outside that would necessarily warrant that kind of a treatment. Okay, this here is the electrical system, and since all the electricity for the house is generated with solar panels, the electrical system, there's a lot of stuff in the house that function on DC. There's also a lot of stuff that function on normal AC. So here's a DC panel right here, and here's an AC panel right here, and here is the inverter system that turns the DC from the solar panels into AC. There are batteries on the roof as well that store the power generated from the panels, and then those batteries get drained into the AC. Into the inverter. This is fairly cool here. This is the fridge in the house, and this is apparently a direct current fridge. It is highly efficient, apparently. It has really thick insulation, and it actually works on direct current. It's not an AC fridge. It doesn't even draw power from the inverter. It just goes straight from the batteries. So other than the front-facing wall of the Earthship, which is this glass, and actually the wall that's facing south, all the other walls are made out of rammed tires. They use discarded tires from junkyards that have been rammed with dirt from the surrounding area. So in this case, it's kind of like this red clay. And these walls are about 3 feet thick with the tires, and then on top of them with a layer of cement, and then a layer of just mud plaster. So the walls themselves are 3 feet thick, and they are just a giant thermal mass. Each of the rammed tires are apparently about 400 pounds in weight, so this thing is effectively a bunker. Okay, so this is the back of the Earthship. As you'll see, there is just a giant pile of dirt that's piled in the back of it. And that's basically behind the wall of tires that's 3 feet thick. There's this pound, I don't know, it looks like 100 cubic yards of dirt that's actually piled here. The purpose of this is that this is the kind of the main thermal mass that doesn't allow the dwelling inside to get cold or to get too warm in the summer, because thermodynamics, this thermal mass stays at a constant about anywhere from 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit depending on where you are, and if the temperature in the dwelling is higher, the thermal mass absorbs in order to equalize, and if the temperature is lower, the opposite thing happens. So this thing is basically the backbone of why this place has a kind of a thermal constant without heating and cooling systems. Alright, so now I'm on the roof, and you can see that the roof is actually aluminum, and it's slightly pitched so that when the rain comes, it drains down here. It drains into a channel that's covered with kind of a rubbery substance, and then funnels into this area through this channel here, which has gravel to filter particulate matter, into a cistern. There's the opening right there. This cistern is about 4,000 gallons, they said. And the property has, here's access ports to the cistern here and here as well. And there's another cistern on the other side for another 4,000 gallons. So I guess this property can retain up to 8,000 gallons of water as it goes. These skylights, these dormers here, are the ones that I showed you in the forward garden. And these open and close, they have these kind of ballasts on the end of them, so opening and closing them is kind of easy. And these regulate the temperature inside of the greenhouse. There are also same kind of dormers on the opposite side that open up to the dwelling. And these guys are there to regulate the temperature in the dwelling. So if it's too hot in the dwelling, if you open up these dormers, that hot air will start escaping upwards, and it'll draw in cooler air from the ground. Some of these Earthships actually have built-in pipes that go underneath this thermal mass, and that end at the lower, almost at the floor level in the dwelling, and they basically draw about 55-60 degree air from underneath the thermal mass, and then hot air escapes up here. Pretty cool. This is actually the solar array panel for the entire property, and really that's all there is to it. These 6 panels actually power everything, and we just had a normal day yesterday and everything was fine. Watched TV, all the lights, cooked some stuff, and there was no issues. I'm at the very back again now, and this is where all the vents come out, various types of vents, and they also have gas tanks here to store gas. These are kind of tiny. I don't know why they don't have larger ones, or why they're not buried in the ground like anything else, but I guess this does just fine. Oh, by the way, also, the cisterns, the one that I showed you was on the right side of the property, and this one is on the left side. Those also contribute to the thermal mass of this entire mound, because this is, 4,000 gallons of water here and 4,000 gallons of water on the other side. That's a lot of thermal energy stored at a certain temperature, and it's very hard to nudge that temperature up or down, hence giving the thermal stability of this place. Okay, so underneath this structure here that looks like a solar panel, but it's not a solar panel, is the septic tank. So all the waste from the toilets basically gathers in the septic tank, and the septic tank is aided by these, well, they're kind of like solar panels, but just the heat from the sun aids the anaerobic dismemberment of the solid waste. I'm not sure how big the septic tank is, but it is what it is. It's some standard size, I believe, or I guess. So inside the house, you can't smell or see anything that's happening in there. As in other septic tanks, the liquid runoff actually goes somewhere else. The liquid runoff, in this case, they have made a kind of a planter garden here, and this kind of gravelly, rocky patch is supposed to be a filter slash planter slash whatnot, where the liquid runoff actually goes through and filters into the ground, or is absorbed by the plants here. Some people, I guess, have made it in different ways, but in this case, in the one that we're staying here, it's right here. And the amazing thing is that even as I'm standing here, there is no smell, there is nothing, it's kind of normal. It doesn't look like anything. But all the liquid waste actually comes out maybe about 3 feet under here. One last thing, as I'm taping this the temperature, it's kind of windy, and the temperature outside, it's about 35, 36 maybe. Overnight when we slept, it was, God knows, it was, I don't know, in the 20s. And so on the inside, the temperature stayed around 68, which was a little bit too cold for Angela, but it was awesome for me. So it stayed about 68, even though it was literally 20 degrees or, maybe 25 at most outside. It was bone cold. That's pretty amazing. And now we have another sunny day. Now it's 10 in the morning, and the sun is picking up, and the temperature inside of the garden just about 10 minutes ago was 75. Inside of the dwelling, it's about 70. And as the sun moves around, the temperature is going to get higher and higher, and then you can regulate it. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm back in the garden, in the greenhouse actually, here. And this little guy, this pump and filter, are the ones that take the water from the tank that when it drains from the sinks and the shower, and they pump it into these planters. There are pipes that go all along the length of this, and the water literally just drains down. Okay, so all the rooms have these windows that go, or windows or doors that go into the greenhouse, and depending on how much and when these guys are open, you're able to regulate the temperature inside of the dwelling. So these guys, the windows that open into the greenhouse, in combination with the dormers above, allow you to regulate the airflow here and see whether the temperature in the dwelling is going to be very high, very low, or medium. Pretty cool. And they kind of teach you how to do this. But I'm not going to spend that time to explain all of that now. Alright, so for hot water, what happens is that instead of having a normal hot water heater, they have this on-demand type of a heater. So that's this thing. Works on gas, and it basically, heats water as you start to use it. It doesn't heat water and keep it in the tank. It just kind of heats it as you need it. This guy here, I think it's an overflow pressure tank for the heater itself, so kind of a buffer to accommodate more or less hot water. Alright, back in the garden here, just to show you something. It's right now 10 a.m. Come on, focus. There we go. 10 a.m. The sun has been out. It's kind of a semi-cloudy day, so the sun has been out for like maybe an hour and a half, if that. And the temperature inside of the greenhouse now is close to 80 degrees, which is pretty cool. Outside it's maybe 35, here it's 80. And we just opened windows to the living room to let some of this hot air in, and we opened up the door to the bedroom to let some of this air in.